look at all that money, yeah, the money that they spent. Take another look now and take some time for hemp. I know cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Oh, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, right now it's time for hemp.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for taking time for hemp. I'm your host, Casper Leitch. I had the mute button on. Take a day off, and I forget how to do my job, I tell you. I want to thank you for tuning in, and forgive me yesterday for an unannounced no-show. I was just feeling hit with the flu that seems to be going around, and if I'm a little stopped up still, that's why I sound like I'm a little stopped up. I am. Today is Tuesday, and on Tuesday we put a spotlight on all the hardworking activists up in Canada. It's nice that Time for Hemp found a home up in Canada. I can't tell you the number of people who've been tuning in and listening for the last 4 or 5 years, and a lot of that had to do with the hard work of Michelle Rainey and Al Graham and the many of the people at Treating Yourself magazine and Kelly Kriston at KDK Distributors. Hard work at making the country aware of the noise we are making. And on the program today, Kelly is off on holiday. But we have under the same flag, sitting under the same queen, from another country, Steve Danks, who has a program right after mine out of England, as our joint host today, because we have a really interesting guest joining our family today, Abi Roach. She's got a great little business that's going to become a major business in the marijuana movement, and it's something that everybody internationally needs to be aware of. It's a nice little spot to hang out when you're looking for a vacation or a holiday and a chance to get away. Isn't that right, Abi?
Sure is. We're going Canada, Jamaica, you never know, maybe Spain next. I've had an offer to do something there, so you never know. Yeah, you never know, Marijuana's taken over the world, and we're coming along just with it,
Fantastic. Abi, hello from England. I'm Steve.
Oh, hello. How are you, Steve?
Oh, I'm having to do double, you know what the hemp world's like, having to do a double shift today. Standing with Casper, talk to your lovely self in Canada, and then directly after, I've got to do another shift on my own.
Oh, my. Sounds like a radio full day.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Fantastic.
So, Abi, tell us a bit about what you do?
Okay, well, I do a whole bunch of stuff, but about 15 years ago, I opened up a little shop called Roachorama, hence my last name is Roach. It's not really Roach, but I've been known as Abi Roach for the last 15 years, so kind of works for me. But yeah, it's a little head shop, and then around 2003, I opened up Hotbox Cafe, and it was Eastern Canada's first cannabis-friendly cafe, or, pot positive, I like to call it. And it was a BYOP, so people can just come in, bring their own, and whatever else not. And throughout the years, we've expanded. We had like a little marijuana-themed nightclub that, we do like live events and DJs and stuff. And I have a little magazine called Spliff Magazine that we put out of the shop just to keep people, up to date, what's hip, what's happening around the world in the ganja movement. And recently we opened Hotbox Jamaica, which is same as the Hotbox, but in Jamaica. So you get, nice natural vibes and rivers and oceans, and it's just beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've got a place in Canada. Whereabouts in
Toronto,
Canada?
yeah.
In Toronto.
In Toronto, in Kensington Market. It's the coolest neighborhood in all of Canada.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got... I'm reverbing, I think. Is it being just reverbing, Casper?
That's all right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just turn your speaker down a little bit.
I actually don't have any speakers on.
All right, Abi, are your speakers on?
Just a speaker that I can hear you through.
Maybe turn that a little lower. But yeah, it sounds like, if I was going to be chilling out around the world, it'd be a great spot to find out. If you're going to be opening up a third spot in Spain, you're going to be doing like the Holiday Inns and so on. Stay here for
Yeah, exactly.
2
It'll be
nights.
Hotbox International. I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you come to England and open one up in London, it's
No.
obviously going to have to be near Abbey Road, and then we can take a picture of you walking across the famous zebra crossing.
Oh, that would be amazing. I've always wanted to do that.
Abbey Roach crossing Abbey Road.
It's funny. Abby's not my real name either, but when I was a kid and I moved to Canada from Israel, my name was too funny. People couldn't say it. And Abbey Road was my absolute favorite album on earth, so I changed my name to Abby, but I didn't know how to spell, so I spelled it ABI. But so I've been Abby and Abi Roach for a long, long time. Yeah, but I named myself after the album, so it'd be very fitting.
That would be, wouldn't it? Yes. Yeah. I actually live in a county called East Sussex, and I live in a place called Hastings. About 10 miles from me, Mr. Paul McCartney lives. Or should I say Sir Paul McCartney? He lives just down the road from us. He's one of our neighbours.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'll have to come and visit and stalk him for a minute.
Yeah.
Take his hand.
Yeah. He's a nice enough fella. He likes it down here because he doesn't get worried. Nobody sort of troubled him. He's lived here. He lived here with Linda, actually. It was one of the farms that they brought. So it must be a nice place because he's got lots of money. He can live anywhere he wants in the world, couldn't he? But he decided to bring his children up. All the children were brought up down here, went to a local school. And occasionally, he lives in a very small town just down the road. He turns up on a Sunday and plays the pub piano. They don't pay him.
I don't think he needs the money. I think he's all right.
Yeah. So you're going to tell us a bit about the hotel bed and breakfast that you have there?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, we have accommodations for people just traveling through, so it's kind of like a youth hostel. We have some bunk beds and whatever else not, and that's nice and cheap. And then we have private rooms. We have a 2-bedroom. We do like ganja-infused breakfast and dinner and whatever else not. We have like traditional coconut chalices. We serve traditional Jamaican food. There's a beautiful beach just down the road. It's about a 2-minute drive, and lots of beach parties and stuff. It's really fantastic. And Jamaica is such a lovely country. The people are so lovely. It's just a wonderful place.
And of course, Jamaica apparently is really now, I've heard through the grapevine that all their paperwork's in place and they're basically going to go completely legal, aren't they?
Well, I'm not sure what they're doing. Jamaican politics is such a crazy thing. So don't believe everything that the newspapers tell you,
No,
I think in the end, they just don't want to fall behind what everyone else is doing. And essentially, it's like any bar that you go to, any place you go to in Jamaica, there's going to be somebody smoking a big fat spliff. Anywhere you go, you want to buy a joint, it's really not that difficult or expensive. And the country has more marijuana than people, so the price is so ridiculously low. It's amazing, but and they can't get it out of the country. So I think Jamaica really needs to take a double look and just say, okay, we've got this amazing commodity that's all organic and it comes up every moon. They have a harvest. It's incredible, but they can't get it out of the country and there aren't enough people to smoke it. So they got to figure out what to do with it. And I think they're looking at countries like Israel, that are growing and exporting to legal places. Yeah. And they're saying, why aren't we doing this, right? So, which is something Canada should be looking at as well. And, who knows what they're trying to do here. It's all madness with their medical marijuana field. But the reality is the hardest part for Jamaicans is when they get arrested. I've been on the show before and I've made this point where, the fine for having marijuana on you in Jamaica is about 10,000 Jamaican, which is about $100, which doesn't sound like a lot to me and you as North Americans and Europeans. But to a Jamaican, 10,000 Jamaican dollars is like, I don't know, it's like a week's salary, it's their kids' food, their kids' school payments and whatever, right? So that's really the hardest part on them. And a lot of people end up going to jail for nothing just because they can't afford that $100 fine, It's
and of course, for the Rastafarians, it is like all of them, but for the Rastafarians, it is the religious herb. And so
exactly. Well, and it causes a lot of harassment for them as well because, you see a Rasta, the police see a Rasta, it's like, oh, that's easy money for me. I can just pull them over and take my bribe and walk away, right? It's a crazy little country like that.
Yeah, but as I say, I do know some people. This wasn't newspaper reports; they've actually been over. I can't mention their names as yet, but they've literally the last 10 days they've come back, and there is big movement. I think all the paperwork is now done, and they're getting ready to sign it. Yeah, well, and too rightly too, because Jamaica needs another economy. It's got a great economy sitting there ready to go.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of changing the paperwork around.
Exactly, and it's an herb that's been used in Jamaica for, I think it's about, I don't know, since the end of slavery, essentially, is how it got to the country. When slavery was abolished and they brought in all the workers from India and China to fill in the cheap labor, ganja from the Ganges River, whatever else not, showed up in Jamaica, and it's been a regular part of life ever since, and people grow up, families grow up, everyone, it's like, I think it's a silly statistic, like 60% or something of, Jamaican society smokes ganja, so it's kind of ridiculous to, keep it illegal for so many years, just to make.
There's a very interesting report that's just come out from Jamaica as well. They've been, the University of, they've been studying the use of cannabis with mothers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they've actually sort of shown that over a 3 and 5 year period, nothing to do with money, right? Literally just social economics. That the children brought up in homes where the parents use cannabis, they have a better infrastructure, or basically in English, they look after the children better.
Yeah, well, better attention span. Yeah,
better attention, better everything. They just sort of, and they've done, as I say, they've split all that down into sort of scientific jargon. But at the end of the day, 2 groups totally unrelated. One group took ganja, the other group didn't, and it was mums basically that they looked. Well, it was mums, not basically. It was mums they looked at, and they felt that after this 3 and 5 year study, that the children brought up in cannabinoid efficient mothers were being brought up better, and also as well, there's a scale of measuring children, a sort of science, response things and stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
They actually found that those children scored better in all these tests that they done, and they wasn't tests that they made up specifically. Just these are standard children tests to see the development. So they found that the children had developed actually better.
I'd imagine they were a lot more creative and open-minded and all that great stuff that cannabis does for your brain. Yeah. Exactly.
And then we've got the university report which says that, which is always good, isn't it? Telling us something we already knew. Yeah, fantastic.
So what's happening in England over there right now?
We live in a country that our government believes that medical cannabis has no medical benefit, to use their words.
Sad.
Interesting. Yes. And of course we live in a country where we actually have a company called GW Pharmaceuticals who grew 20 ton of it last year and sell it on the open market. It's quite interesting because they use the same seed as I do. And they don't live 200 mile away from me, so it's the same soil, same sun, same water. Yeah. But their one's got medical benefit, but my one hasn't.
But yours is illegal,
So a bit of a pondering on that one, because they can't seem to come up with any reasonable scientific proof to tell me why the two are different.
Exactly. Yeah, they can't prove they can't prove anything. Yeah. That's funny.
So I live in a country where it is legal, but it's not legal.
Yeah, welcome to my world. Yeah.
Yes.
Canada's a funny place that way too.
Yeah.
We have a very conservative government, and they just can't break away, from the illegality of it, right? It's
they should do, because there's lots of English people that love to go to Canada, and there's lots of English people that would love to go to Canada to be able to stay in a hotel which is cannabis friendly.
Well, of course.
Or cannabis active.
Of course. And, my place has been open for 15 years, and we're still there. And no one's ever been arrested out of my place and whatever else not. And we're very open. I'm very cool with the cops. So if it was up to the police, it'd be a different story. But it's not up to the police, unfortunately, to change the laws. So we're stuck with what we got. And let's see another 4 years what happens, right? But right now they're trying to change the medical. Well, they've changed the medical growing. And you have to get a license. And I think there was an article, it's like 800 applications. It's like 25 new applications a week. But it's so far behind that the government just can't catch up with the applications. So nobody's getting the licenses to grow. But yet they're trying to take away people's right to grow their own medical marijuana. But then they won't give out the licenses to the people who are applying to grow it legally. And again, it goes to your point of like, it's the same marijuana being grown legally and illegally. There's no difference really, except for there's more security in one. So what makes one illegal and the other one legal? It's kind of ridiculous.
It's just so confusing, isn't it?
Oh, it's just ridiculous.
It's just really trying to make sense of it sometimes. All I can come up with is it's there to confuse you, because that's all I ever come up with is I'm confused.
Exactly. The process is too slow for anyone to actually make any forward movements with it, right?
But moving away from being a sort of radio host and being on with Casper and talking to you about activism and all that, just as a sort of tourist, I mean, basically you're in the tourist industry.
Yeah, basically that's what I do.
I don't quite know how many English tourists go to Canada. I know it's quite...
We just had one last week in Jamaica, and we have lots of British tourists that come into the hot box every week, especially in the summertime when they come down. Yeah. We have... Mm-hmm.
And
what's that?
Well, we noticed that there's some kind of an echo back, so what we'll do is it is almost time for a commercial break, and we actually have an ad for the Hot Box Cafe. Oh. They have come on board as one of the new sponsors here on Time for Hemp, so we want everybody to be aware of that. Also, if you get a chance, check out all of our programming. Time for Hemp used to be just one little radio show. Now it's a network of 25 hosts, bringing you about 45 hours a week of programming, original programming, about the need to end prohibition. So please share us with your friends, because that is how we are found. We are in Tumblr, SoundCloud, and timeforhemp.com, and of course on iHeartRadio. You are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. Please share us with your friends.
THCF Medical Clinics are the premier physicians clinic in the United States. THCF has offices all across the United States from Hawaii to Michigan. THCF Medical Clinics has helped approximately 150,000 patients obtain their medical marijuana permits to legally possess, grow, and use medical marijuana. If you have chronic pain, multiple sclerosis, or any other neurological degenerative disease, or if you have any gastrointestinal disorders such as GERD, irritable bowel syndrome, or if you have AIDS, cancer, spastic disorders, seizure disorders, or glaucoma, call us at 1-800-723-0188 or visit us online at hemp.org. Again, the number is 1-800-723-0188 and the site is hemp.org.
In need of a ganja vacation? Blaze away at Hotbox Jamaica. Chill, relax, burn all day while watching the amazing ocean view. Listen to the birds. Bathe in the mineral waters of the Ganja River. Munch on tasty Jamaican Rasta food. Take a weed farm tour and hold a meditation. Book this amazing vacation for $420. Get the Sativa Special, 7 nights in Sativa dorms with ganja meals and airport transfer. Check us out at hotboxjamaica.com. That's hotboxjamaica.com. A haya meditation vacation.
Indigrow is your source for affordable induction grow lighting. First discovered in 1891 by Nikola Tesla, Indigrow lights deliver 11 years of electronic sunlight to your plants. Indigrow lamps require less than half the power of traditional HID lamps. Converting to Indigrow lights means you'll cut down on your power bill with less lighting. Indigrow lamps also use 5 times less mercury than traditional fluorescent or HID lamps, making Indigrow not only energy efficient but environmentally friendly as well. No more switching out lamps between vegetative and flowering stages. As nature intended, your lights get a steady dose of UV light. That makes your plants grow healthier and stronger. Indigrow products are manufactured in San Diego, California, and come with a written 10-year warranty. What Tesla knew, then growers know now, is that Indigrow lighting is the cost-effective addition to your victory garden. To learn more or order now, go to inda-grow.com. That's INDA-GRO.com. Or call 877-452-2244 to answer any of your questions. These guys really know lights. Indigrow really is your sunlight in a box.
Education and information. See what all the buzz is all about. It's time for hemp. It's time for hemp.
Well, now, chocolate cake makes my poor stomach ache, and all those pills are too much for me to take. I don't like cocaine, cause it makes me all uptight, but coffee and reefer makes me feel alright. Crystal meth will make you high.
Yeah, baby, coffee and reefer does make me feel all right, and I'm feeling a little stronger, a little better. I can tell you I've had to reach out into the pharmaceutical world, bring me home some NyQuil and DayQuil, and oh my God, I'm feeling sick, Quill. And I'm glad to be back up on my feet, being part of the world around me. And so if I sound a little stopped up, I'm working on it. In the meantime, we are keeping a spotlight on the hardworking people in the marijuana movement, the cannabis movement, the hemp movement. Look, that's the one thing that's really got me floating my boat here is everybody, I don't want to be part of the marijuana movement. I'm in the hemp industry. Let's get all those leaves. And, oh, no, I don't want to be part of the hemp industry. I'm the medical marijuana movement. Where are the leaves? It's like, really, people here? I'm going to tell you what you call the plant. Illegal. You can call the plant outlawed. And until you can call the plant legal, quit having a pissing contest over the damn name. All right, yes. We're trying to get people out from behind bars. We're trying to get farmers able to grow this thing for whatever reason. And we're trying to get the resources of the law enforcement community and the Justice Department to be focused on things like, I don't know, sex slave trades and killings and murders and all those groovy things, and not on chasing a plant. Got it? All right. With that said, I'm off my little high horse. I am a little quiet on my own show today. Like I said, I'm stopped up. But it is fun having Abi Roach on along with Steve Danks under the same queen, right? Same ruler. How does that work for you all? I know you just kind of like celebrate her birthday, and you. I can see Abby. You probably have your little old royal family room there for your.
Oh yeah, I've got my tea towels and my saucers. No, I think she's just on my money. That's about it. Yeah, she doesn't really. I don't think she does much for us. Of course,
you've only got to go back a little bit in history to just over 100 years ago. And the last Queen of England, Queen Victoria, used to take extract of cannabis on a daily basis, you see. So she was prescribed it by her physician, John Watson. Yes. And I think, actually, it wouldn't surprise me if this Queen actually takes it, because she's very vibrant, the royal family.
I know.
For
an old bird like that, she's
well, they know the history of it. They, plenty of the relatives have used it openly. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if behind closed doors she takes a little bit of tincture here and there. Why not?
Well, Abby, are there any
tea with their biscuits?
Yes.
Abby,
Hey, oh,
are there any tours? If I pop into your bed and breakfast, do you got any tours lined up or any special?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do a whole bunch of tours. We do like the regular Jamaica stuff, waterfalls, and we do a nice Bob Marley tour where we take you up to 9 Mile, where Bob Marley was born and buried, and from there we take you on a ganja farm tour with one of his nephews. Yeah, so a little part of the Marley family, and he tells you some Marley history and takes you to his plantation, shows you around, and then we have a tour that's just like a plantation tour, and that's it. You just go, you check out like how Jamaicans farm everything, whatever else not. We teach you how to chop up weed in your hand and how to roll a big fat Bob Marley split and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah.
are you for real? Or this is some fantasy paradise?
Yeah, some fantasy paradise. Yeah.
I think we should send Casper down there for a week's recreational.
I think so. I think he'd enjoy it.
I think he deserves that. So listen, playing the complete novice, I'm in England, and you've got this place, right? So I've got lots of people in England that love going to the islands, right? And as a cannabis user, obviously I want to book into a place like yours. So what's the mechanics of it? I'm sitting at home now, and I want to book a holiday with you. What do I need to do?
It's pretty simple. We're on TripAdvisor. We're on Booking.com, where you can just save a couple of bucks and go to hotboxjamaica.com and just book directly from us. It's fairly simple. Everything that's available will be on there, and it's hotboxjamaica.com. Or if you go to hotboxcafe.ca, there's a link off there as well.
But lead me through it. What actually happens, right? I get to your website. What am I going to get? What's it going to cost me?
Well, we have a special right now for pretty much until the end of summer. It's $4.20 for the week, and that gets you a dorm bed, airport pickup, 3 meals a day, and your ganja. So it's pretty good. And then we can upgrade you. So if you wanted like your own room or whatever else not, if you didn't want to just do it on the cheap, I think it's works out to about 500 and something. We have different plans, with tours and whatever else not, different things that you can book in. We also do ganja weddings. So it's a whole wedding. Yeah. Your bouquet is just like
oh my God, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
All the food and everything. And I think the deal that we have for that is about $3,000 for a wedding, and that includes a room for 10 people to come and stay with you, your friend, whatever else not, your preacher or justice of the peace, whichever one you choose, and all your legal documents that actually get you married, which is actually quite nice. Mm-hmm.
So just bringing it back to this being a novice, so I'll go online. And I can book the hotel online with you. Yeah. And for your top of the range sort of, because I'm quite elderly and I've done my student bunk days.
Yes, of course.
I want a bit of con. I want a bit of nice service. So really for what, about $700?
Less than that, about $500-$600. Yeah. You're pretty set. You got your smoke, you got your
English pound notes, that's roughly about £300 per week.
Yeah.
You're going to pick me up from the airport.
Yep.
You're going to take me to a beautiful spot on Jamaica.
Yep. Top of the hill, panoramic ocean views. It's beautiful.
You're going to give me the most amazing view. What's the weather like at the moment?
It's always 31 degrees Celsius during the day, always 26, 27 at night.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm having some sort of mental orgasm.
Yeah. And we have our own river on the property. It's a mineral river there's about 4 different pools, but there's one pool that we cleaned up real nice, and it's I'm about 5'4", and I can swim in it, and there's a waterfall. I like to bathe in there and wash my hair and stuff. So we got that, and then there's 3 beautiful beaches. There's one about 3 minutes away by car, about a 20-minute walk. And then there's 2 other beaches that are about 10 minutes away each. And they're all beautiful turquoise blue waters and just amazing people, lovely vibes, And it's not a very touristy kind of area, so you're really left alone. No one's going to try and sell you anything or push anything on you. It's just, just go chill out. Yeah.
So I think Casper will agree with me. Anybody that's listening now, the new radio base for HempWorks radios and the Time for Hemp Network will be coming from our new accommodation in Jamaica.
Wonderful. Well, I'll move you guys in. Definitely. I'll give you the pimp apartment. No worries.
pimp apartment as well.
The
Can you
pimp
hear this?
environment. Well, we call it the Cush Suite, and it's a beautiful 2-bedroom with like 2 queen-size beds and marble tiles, and the balcony is incredible. Like you just sit out, you don't have to move. It's all treetops and birds, the parrots living in and stuff. It's amazing. We have our own, we farm our own food, and we have tons of different fruit trees and all sorts of, all sorts of food that you can just pick on your own. It's quite nice. We did have a couple of ganja plants growing, but the cops came by and took them away.
Yeah, and most probably smoked them.
Yeah, exactly. They were decorational. They pulled up and they were like, "What's this?" They took them away.
Right, so I've just got to recheck that I really am awake and listening. So I get myself down to the airport. I buy myself a ticket to Jamaica, which is not a lot from England.
No.
And I've booked you already. You pick me up from the airport and you take me to this amazing place. And you feed me.
Yeah. And I give you ganja to smoke. Yeah.
And I give you 300 quid a week.
Uh-huh.
And I'll get to live in, well, basically heaven.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good to me. I'll see you on Monday.
Wonderful. I'll be there at the end of the month. We'll hang out.
I'll wait for you to get there then. I can just about do that now. Oh, my God.
And we have Wi-Fi, so you could do your radio show right from there.
Abby, also as well, look, I run a charity in the UK which really helps people with the medical side of things.
Okay.
And we've also been looking for some places around the world where people that are not very well can go and spend a month and take their medicine in a more legal situation, a better quality medicine, and somewhere where they get to look at a beach and maybe go and do a bit of swimming. Is that something that you could most probably facilitate in the near future?
Oh, absolutely. It's not, because we're at the peak of a mountain. For people in wheelchairs and stuff, it's not so wheelchair friendly. But for everybody else, it's no problem at all. Yeah, it's just a location. We're just so far up this mountain. It's like, it's pretty steep, but it's good exercise. That's definitely, definitely. But it's a wonderful place to relax. The air is really clean. There's not a factory to be seen within, probably an hour and a half drive. You won't see any pollutants at all. Just a small little highway, and that's about it. Yeah, the air is clean, it's fresh, everything is just nice and beautiful.
It's Jamaica out.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously we have an awful lot of Jamaican and Caribbean people live in the UK.
And Toronto as well, yeah.
We've got, they came over in the 60s and done the jobs that the whiteys didn't want to do, and they've stayed here. And so we have good connections with Jamaica. And, of course, unfortunately, it was one of the British Empire islands that's got to do anything. But there has been a good cultural tie between here and Jamaica. Mm-hmm. My God. Casper, are you sure you're not winding me up? You're not just making this all up today? You haven't got this person? It does exist, doesn't it?
No, but I will tell you, she is so remarkable that you oftentimes do think you've closed your eyes and gotten really, really high, and the ganja goddess has sent something remarkable to the earth to enjoy.
And I also forgot to mention, while we're on this tourism thing, I forget. Oh, we also do in the summers. I totally forgot about it because I have Grassheimer's and I forget things. But we do a camp hot box as well here in Ontario in Canada, where it's like a big cottage, and we do. I think it's $300 for the weekend, and it's the same kind of idea, but you stay in Canada, so you don't have to go anywhere. So for those Canadians that live in Ontario and just want to go hang out in a cottage, we do have camp hot box, and you can find that information on hotboxcafe.ca as well. Yeah. And that's good times. Mm-hmm.
Oh, one last thing. Internet.
Yes. Just one more little thing.
Do you have internet?
Yes, we have internet. We have Wi-Fi throughout the property. Well, it's Jamaican internet, so whenever it works really good until it doesn't work for a day, and then it works back. But it's pretty good. I must say Jamaica, for being a third world country, has some excellent Wi-Fi. It's strong. It's good. You could pretty much be anywhere on the property and use it.
So not only can I come to Paradise, I can also run my radio station because it's internet-based on the Cyber Hemp network.
Yeah, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just sit on the balcony and look at the ocean and check out the birds and listen to some reggae and smoke your spliff and do your radio show.
Well, I'm just speechless now. You've done me. All I can say is, anybody out there, I've got a flat for sale in England. It's fully furnished. I'll even leave you the clothes. because I won't need them. I won't need all my winter clothes, that's for sure. Yeah, and I'm off them. That's it. It's all for sale. It's all gone.
That's funny.
And of course, I don't
We'd
think
be
we
happy
need,
to have you.
as English people, we don't even need a visa. I don't think for Jamaica.
What's that?
I don't think we need a visa for Jamaica.
No, not
UK
at all.
citizens.
No, you get a 3-month visa automatically as soon as you enter the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
you're going to have to come in there, Casper, because I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I'm just looking around my room seeing what I can say.
Well, and I'm thinking from America because they're considered part of us, right? There's no need for a passport either for Americans.
No, I don't think. Well, you need a passport, but you don't need like a special visa or anything. Your visa is given to you automatically when you get into the airport.
Well, I reckon for sure, Casper, we should really start thinking about running, because your winter was pretty rough, wasn't it? My winter was horrible. I think next winter we better camp up down there, because I'm not putting up with the English winter again.
Yeah, I run away from here, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Then Canada's got you both beat by 1,000,000. Yeah, it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd much rather wake up and go down, wash my hair in the river, than wake up here and put on 5 hats and a scarf, you know?
Well, I can tell you, over the couple of years that I've had an opportunity to be friends with you, I have learned that in the winter times, you are oftentimes, more often or not, reached and found in Jamaica.
Yeah, I'm never here. I try and leave after Christmas, I'm gone, and I come back in March. That's sort of the ploy and the plan. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. I do some work. I do some other stuff in Jamaica, except for the hotel. You know, I work with a few reggae artists down there. I've had a few of them on the show with you, I think. And yeah, it's nice. You know, I just like to work with the people. I enjoy the culture so much.
And of course, for me, Abby, I'm actually a hemp farmer. So I want to go over there and show them how to grow their hemp and utilise the rest of the plant for their building materials and the fibres and stuff like that.
There are people in Jamaica growing hemp. I've met a couple of them a couple of years ago. There was a lady, I don't remember where she was from, but she was starting a big hemp farm as well. And again, for farming down there, the weather and the soil, everything is just perfect.
Yeah. It's perfect for it.
Yeah, it's always moist, always.
And even the farmers that are growing the medical crop or the high THC crop, we can still utilise. They're throwing a lot of fibre away and they're throwing a lot of biomass away. All that can be utilised. Yeah,
absolutely.
So that would be one of my missions, to go back down there. And it's not sort of the white man going back to Jamaica showing how to do it. It's just sharing good quality information of stuff that they maybe not. Because I've got 21 years in the industry, so that would be nice to do that.
I got to jump in here because it's my mission to keep this network up and going, and we can't do that if we don't pay our bills. So we are going to take a commercial break here on the big broadcast, and then come back and pick up where we left off here at Time for Hemp.
Fantastic.
You are listening to the Time for Hemp Global Broadcasting Network. Please share us with your friends.
If you are in the Portland, Oregon area and are an OMMP cardholder, then come down to Nikki's Diggity Dank Market, Portland, Oregon's first and only weekly OMMP market, presented by the Alternative Wellness Center, located at 5241 Southeast 72nd Avenue, 2 blocks south of Foster Boulevard, close to public transportation, held every Sunday 10 a.m. till 7 p.m., connecting quality vendors with patients. Nikki's Diggity Dank Market also has a weekly raffle with products from every vendor. So come down to Nikki's Diggity Dank Market and have fun while connecting with quality vendors and getting great natural medicine. If you are a vendor and want a chance to connect with OMMP patients, you can check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/Alternative Wellness Center or call 971-888-4392. Be sure to register early because space is limited. Nikki's Diggity Dank Market.
In need of a ganja vacation? Blaze away at Hotbox Jamaica. Chill, relax, Burn all day while watching the amazing ocean view. Listen to the birds. Bathe in the mineral waters of the Ganja River. Munch on tasty Jamaican Rasta food. Take a weed farm tour and hold a meditation. Book this amazing vacation for $420. Get the Sativa Special, 7 nights in Sativa dorms with Ganja meals and airport transfer. Check us out at hotboxjamaica.com. That's hotboxjamaica.com. A higher meditation vacation.
Indigrow is your source for affordable induction grow lighting. First discovered in 1891 by Nikola Tesla, Indigrow lights deliver 11 years of electronic sunlight to your plants. Indigrow lamps require less than half the power of traditional HID lamps. Converting to Indigrow lights means you'll cut down on your power bill with less lighting. Indigrow lamps also use 5 times less mercury than traditional fluorescent or HID lamps, making Indigrow not only energy efficient but environmentally friendly as well. No more switching out lamps between vegetative and flowering stages. As nature intended, your lights get a steady dose of UV light. That makes your plants grow healthier and stronger. Indigrow products are manufactured in San Diego, California, and come with a written 10-year warranty. What Tesla knew, then growers know now, is that Indigrow lighting is the cost-effective addition to your victory garden. To learn more or order now, go to inda-grow.com. That's INDA-GRO.com, or call 877-452-2244 to answer any of your questions. These guys really know lights. Indigrow really is your sunlight in a box.
Free? Did you say free? Free hemp? Free hemp? Free hemp video and audio? Free downloads of all the top artists, all the pot artists on planet Earth. Interviews with all the people making the movement, making the hemp movement. It's time for hemp. That's right, world. It's time for hemp. That's right, world. It's time for hemp.
Yes, do stay alert with consciousness. Please be loving, not just yourself by smoking a wonderful thing from the earth, but be nice to Mother Earth. I mean, you don't realize how important this plant is, seriously, when you're smoking it and burning it and dabbing it and whatever else that you do, run around naked in it, who knows. But a lot of people don't seem to realize that as tall as these plants grow, and they hit about 25 feet if you just let them go. I mean, they can. The root goes just about as far down into the ground. And when we eradicated marijuana, i.e. cannabis, hemp, sativa, I don't care what you call the damn thing, when we took it off the planet, we lost about 32% of our topsoil in about 17 years' time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that topsoil is floating around the air now and up there, and we're breathing it. We're not using it like we need to for the nutrients in the ground and all that. And that's just the beginning, you know. We're pouring all kinds of crap on other plants so we can use those instead of this plant, poisoning the earth, poisoning. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. It's madness. Stop it.
End the madness.
Absolutely stop it. It's total madness.
Thank you. Now, that's my rant for the day, and we're going to calm down and have a holiday and relax at the Hotbox Cafe. I'm going to hush up, let you all finish your conversation.
Well, I'm just there. I'm there already. I've left.
You're already on the beach.
Look, the cab's coming. So can you hurry up, please?
All right, well, I got this question now.
One.
Abby, if I come rolling into Toronto or Canada or any place that you've got these groovy outlets, or even down there in Jamaica. You know, I'm from Portland, Oregon. I got me a medical marijuana card here. I can smoke it legally in this state. And I have to. What happens if I roll in there as a tourist? Number one, am I going to be having to deal with the buying it on the street crowd, get held up? Is there places to shop? Do I need a card? Do I do it behind the government's back? Do I do it open on the beach? What's the deal?
My rule of thumb is stay away from the road, stay away from the beach, you're all right. Mostly stay away from the road. Jamaican police tend to be kind of lazy, and they just kind of tend to stick around to the road. So, we have stash cans and whatever else not that we provide. So if you're on the road and you want to go out somewhere, no problems. You can just take a little stash can with you and put your weed in there and go on your way. And they'll never figure that out because that stuff does not exist down there.
Well, no, I know in Canada, in some spots, you can walk into a vape lounge and make a purchase, I guess. Now, how do you make a purchase?
No. There's no vapor lounges in Canada where you could buy marijuana.
All right, well, what am I going to do? How do I do? Is it all underground still in all your spots?
With us, you have to bring your own. Unfortunately, in Toronto, we haven't hit that mark yet. I'm hoping to open a pharmacy next door. I do have a space available now with the new regulations from the MMPR. They have the medical marijuana production regulation, or whatever they're calling it now. There are rules to be able to open a pharmacy. So I'm hoping that eventually, shortly within the next year, we'll be opening a pharmacy in Toronto next door to the hot box. But essentially, you just have to walk around the street. And I always say, if somebody's doing nothing, they're always doing something, And unfortunately, we cannot sell weed to people openly. It's the downfall. But we have been able to, for 15 years, we have been able to come into my place, sit down and relax with a cup of coffee or whatever else not, and chat with other people on the same level and enjoy an alcohol-free, cannabis-infused environment.
Well, I think you understand why I had to ask that question in just the stupid voice that I asked it, because that is probably a common question among most people who do their touring outside of the United States.
Absolutely. Where do I get it? Absolutely. Unfortunately, in Canada, with a conservative government, whatever else not, the rules have not changed yet. And trafficking has a pretty hefty minimum mandatory sentence. I don't remember what it is, but it's not small potatoes, Especially since they changed the Criminal Act a few years ago to add in those minimum mandatory sentences. So, it's one of those things. If you get popped with a joint in Toronto, it's really not a big deal. Nothing's really going to happen to you. You'll probably get a ticket. But the guy selling you that joint, he's going to get screwed.
How about Jamaica?
Jamaica is fairly easy. We do have smoke available on the property that is included and whatever else not. And down there, again, stay away from the road with don't travel in a car smoking a fat spliff. You're all right sitting in the private establishment, whatever else not. That's all right. Private property, you're good. Mm-hmm. And down there again, it's like I think the minimum possession is considered a half pound or less. So if you're dragging a half pound on you for some obscure reason, you've got a half pound and you get popped by the cops, it's the fine is about 10,000 Jamaican, which is about $100. But since you're a tourist, most likely you can just give them $20 and you'll just walk away. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not even funny, Casper, because actually, really, again, they're all looking at the monetization of this plant. The tourist industry worldwide is massive. People like myself, I have to take this plant every day, unfortunately, illegally in my own country. But of course, when I go on holiday, I want to go somewhere where it's safe. And wherever it's going to be safe is where I'm going to take my tourist dollars.
Exactly.
So as soon as the government's wise up to this, Abi is running a tourist industry business which will attract tourists to go there.
Exactly.
And when I get there, I don't want the hassle of any politics or police on my holiday. And if they're going to do that, they're wasting money.
Exactly. And all it is that they want bribes. That's the way it works down there.
That should be government sponsored. That should be in the tourist board of Jamaica, one of the hotels to go for if you are a cannabis user.
Yeah.
I can go to Jamaica and buy alcohol freely, I'll take it.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You can buy pretty much anything freely.
Absolutely.
It's one of those,
and
right?
I can buy it legally, so I want my cannabis legal.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, there are people in the government working on it. I had a meeting last year with a couple of officials from the Jamaican government that were working really hard towards making change. And I believe the people that you were speaking about earlier are those two. The two politicians really pushing forward. Very nice people. Lovely meeting with them. Yeah.
Well,
Very
don't
nice.
forget to mention that there's a lot of people in the UK that would love to go to the island, and if it's made that we're not going to get any hassle from the police, there's also probably a lot of sick people that would like to go over there and maybe spend a month or two
Absolutely.
bringing more good quality imported pound notes and dollars into the Jamaican economy that needs it.
And Jamaica needs it and deserves it.
And Jamaica needs it and deserves it. It's been robbed of its natural life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's an island full of hardworking people that, just need a break. You got people there farming who have, they're fourth, fifth generation ganja farmers, and they got to hide and whatever else not and worry about this, that, and the other when it makes no sense. It's their family's livelihood for the last 5 generations. It just makes no sense. They should be able to make a living.
Of course.
It's crazy. It's a crop like anything else, right? And I think...
again, it's not an imported crop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not an import. It's an actual crop that you're going to sell to me as a tourist.
Exactly. And it's local, and it's keeping the economy local at the same point, right? And they could be exporting, which is the sad part, They could be exporting to all the countries. I know Colorado has a massive shortage. From what I understand, we had a customer in from Colorado about a month ago, and he was saying that, places just sell out, and there aren't enough legal growers to keep up with the demand for legal marijuana, right? So it would just make sense for a place like Jamaica that has so much.
In the UK, we're getting a lot of people making inquiries with us. Do they know of any good hotels and places to stay in Colorado? Because they want to go over there and basically go on a pot holiday.
Exactly.
And at the moment, we can't recommend anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently they're selling out. So it's good for Colorado, but it's bad for business when you don't have the supply for the demand, right? I don't know, Casper. Have you heard? What are you saying about that?
With holidaying in Colorado, you mean? Well,
yeah.
It is an interesting concept. I've even heard that the fledgling chain Howard Johnson is also wanting to become known as the first international hotel chain that is hemp friendly.
Oh, good for them.
So it looks like the industry and many people in the industry are jumping onto this slant. And from what I understand in the reports of Washington, the state of Washington, and I say that wrong, I'm from Indiana, and Colorado, the tourist industry is up quite a bit because
I can imagine.
Yeah, so I can only imagine that being true in your neck of the woods as well.
Oh, one day it will happen, but so far so good. We get lots of tourists in regardless, and they love the hot box, so it's good. We got people coming up from Florida and such all the time. It's fantastic.
And hopefully from the UK now.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's a great time because people are booking their summer holidays now.
Exactly, and winter. Yeah. And there's so much big events down. Summertime in Toronto is insane. There's like a massive concert every 5 minutes. But in Jamaica, wintertime is fantastic. And about 2 minutes away from us, there's a big, huge Rasta festival called Rebel Salute that happens every January. And it's a 3-day festival, all Rasta vibes, alcohol-free, massive. Damian Marley, Jakir, all like the big artists show up. And it's fantastic. And that's only about 4 minutes away from us. So it's a great place to stay. So if you are planning to book something, you like some reggae music, that's the time.
Have you ever come across a hemp beer in a blue bottle in Jamaica called Hemp Lager?
No.
Hemp Leaf Lager. It's made by a guy called Paul Sodom.
Okay.
When you're down in Jamaica, I've lost contact with him. He was a brewer from England that made a hemp lager and he couldn't sell it in England. Then he went to Australia and he couldn't sell it in Australia because whatever. And then I know that he was just about to go bankrupt, and I know that he took it over to Jamaica and they lapped it up. And it was apparently the largest selling beer in Jamaica for a while, even beating Red Stripe.
Oh, you'll have to get me in touch with him.
There, check him out, see if you can find him for us.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to sell it. That sounds wonderful and right up our alley.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Looks like we're about ready to wrap it up because it's time to give a big shout out for all the URLs you want people to be responding to, and any certain events or organizations that are working hard that could probably use a shout out. We got about 2 minutes to make that happen.
All right.
Abby,
Me?
you first.
All right. Well, of course, I want to shout out my Hotbox crew, all the people that work for me and with me and such. They're wonderful, and I couldn't do anything without my employees. They're amazing. Leap, amazing people. Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, they do amazing work. Alison Murden, you got your Normals Women's Alliance, Canadian Normal Women's Alliance. I love those girls. They work really hard and talk to a lot of politicians and have really made a lot of strides in Canada for what's happening, all the other vapor lounge owners in Toronto that have followed suit and are working hard, and everyone in the industry. Just keep doing what you're doing because we're getting closer and closer and closer.
And Steve?
Oh, I'm in Jamaica. No good talking to me. I'm there on the balcony, mate. I'm just. Where am I? Who am I? I don't care. I'm in paradise. All I can say is, Abby, is there any chance of you staying on the line for another 5 minutes after this show? And just,
no problem.
Could you come on my show, please? Because mine's a UK,
okay.
European. And just briefly, just tell us a little bit about that. And then what I'd love to do is get you onto a full show and publicise it properly. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm so stoked. I'm going to come back on my show, and I'm just going to talk about your show anyway. But you'll be there if you understand what I mean.
No problems.
Is that okay, Casper? Can we do that?
Oh, that's absolutely fine with me. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
All right. Well, with
So
that
listen,
said,
I'm going
let
to
me
disappear for a minute and just break between shows. All right, a couple of things I've got to do.
That's all right.
So,
But
Abby, what a delight to speak to you. You will see me at your holiday.
Yes, definitely.
I'm there.
We'll love to have you.
and
I know it.
I want to say
Right, goodbye,
thank you.
everybody, and I'll see you on my show in about 10 minutes' time.
All
Bye,
right.
Thank you. Cheers, Casper.
Thank you. And I want to say thank you to KDK Distributors again for being nice enough to give us a grant to keep us loud, proud, and strong. Kelly, I hope you're enjoying your vacation there in Mexico. And when you come back, I'm sure you'll have a lot to share. Abby, it's been a lot of joy having you join our family tomorrow. Leap Day, LEAP. Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, LEAP.cc. Peter Chris, the joint host Thursday. We focus on what's going on here in the United States on the political front, because it always does have a big effect on the global marijuana movement. And then on Friday, Small Town Fridays with Michael Crowitz, we roll into a small town and put a big spotlight on the hardworking people somewhere in your neck of the woods. 24 hosts on this network, all broadcasting live, giving you about 45 to 48 hours a week. Original broadcasting about the need to end prohibition. And like a good joint, we are best when you share us with your friends. Remember, the next time you hear me, you'll know that it's time for hemp.
Look at all that money, yeah, the money